Hello friends, I thought I would do a cozy storytime video. And I always tell stories on my streams, so this is no different. I just thought I would do it for YouTube. I don't know who's listening to my stories on Twitch. But anyways, I wanted to tell the story of how I got my 3DS. Obviously it was years ago, and it was at a GameStop at the mall, the Stone Ridge Mall in Pleasanton. Just to give people a picture of what mall it was, I used to go to a university that was 1 hour east of Pleasanton. And so I was at the mall. I decided I would get a DSi because I had sold my DS Lite like a year or two before that. And then I thought, okay, I'm getting bored. I want a DSi. I'm gonna get a DSi. And I thought the 3DS was maybe too expensive at the time. I don't know. But I decided to get a DSi at the GameStop inside the mall. And I had a friend who was working at the mall. She was working in a bakery shop. And so I took the DSi and I bought Chrono Trigger with it. And I took it to the bakery shop. And I took it to my friend. Let's call her Joe. I took it to my friend. I started to talk about how I got my new DSi with Chrono Trigger. And when I was talking to her, it didn't feel right. It felt like I made a mistake. Because why would I get a DSi when the 3DS was in full swing? Because this was during the 3DS life cycle, so why would I get a DSi when all the games were being made for the 3DS? I mean, I would get to enjoy the old games on the DS, but it didn't make sense because I was buying a console that was dead, or a portable system that was dead. I wouldn't be able to look forward to the new games that were coming out on 3DS. So I was talking to her about it, and I knew it didn't feel right. And then I decided... Well, I think I said it out loud. Maybe I should have got a 3DS. And then I said, okay, I'll be back in a bit. And I decided to go back down to the GameStop to return the DSi that I just bought with Chrono Trigger. And I don't know how many people buy a console and return it within an hour. But that's what I did. Within an hour, I bought a DSi and Chrono Trigger, and I returned it at the same GameStop at the mall. And I decided to get a 3DS. And I decided to get... I don't remember if it came with Ocarina of Time or if I had to buy it separately, but they only had two types of 3DS systems on sale. They had a Mario 3DS, and they had one with a Zelda design on it. And of course I got the one with the Zelda design. Again, I can't remember if it had Ocarina of Time with it, or if I had to buy it separately, but I got Ocarina of Time as well. And so I brought the 3DS and I brought Ocarina of Time back to my friend Joe upstairs at the bakery shop. And I was showing off my 3DS this time, and it felt right. It felt right. You know, when you buy something, you know if it feels right, and I felt like I made the right decision getting the 3DS and Ocarina of Time. And I had a good night hanging out with my friend, playing 3DS, and eating bread soup at the bakery. That was a good memory for me. I bought a DSi and Chrono Trigger, returned it in the same night, then bought a 3DS and Ocarina of Time, then hung out with my friend, and then I drove back to wherever I was. So that's how I bought my 3DS. I don't know how interesting this story will be, or if people want to hear more stories, let me know. It could be a new series, Cozy Story Times, and we'll think about it. That's how I bought my 3DS. I didn't use it as often as I thought I would, but lately, if you've been following me, you know I've been trying to do 3DS meetups at different conventions. And in fact, I'm going to do one at Game on Expo soon, next month. So if you want to do a 3DS meetup, I have a Smash Brothers 3DS meetup that was approved by Game on Expo. We'll see. But anyways, that's the story of how I bought my 3DS. Thanks for watching. I'll be back soon.